Outgrow Yourself. Why Yesterday's Mindset Won't Solve Tomorrow's Problems. Written and published by MSC Boost. Chapter 1. The Paradox of Success. How Triumphs Can Stifle Growth. Success is a double-edged sword. While it brings a sense of accomplishment and validation, it can also create a dangerous sense of complacency. When we achieve our goals and receive recognition for our efforts, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we've reached the pinnacle of our potential. We may become content with our current state, assuming that the strategies and mindsets that brought us this far will continue to serve us well in the future. However, this assumption can be detrimental to our long-term growth and success. The truth is, the world is constantly evolving, and what worked yesterday may not be sufficient to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. If we cling to outdated ways of thinking and acting, we risk becoming stagnant and falling behind. Success can breed a false sense of security, causing us to overlook the need for continuous self-improvement and adaptation. We may become resistant to change, fearing that it will disrupt the status quo that has brought us success thus far. Moreover, success can narrow our focus, causing us to become myopic in our perspective. When we've found a formula that works, it's tempting to stick to it rigidly, even when faced with new situations that require a different approach. This inflexibility can limit our ability to innovate and find creative solutions to emerging problems. We may become so fixated on maintaining our success that we fail to see opportunities for growth and expansion. To avoid falling into the success trap, it's crucial to cultivate a mindset of continuous learning and self-improvement. Rather than resting on our laurels, we must actively seek out new challenges and opportunities to stretch ourselves. This means stepping outside our comfort zones, embracing discomfort, and being willing to take calculated risks. By pushing ourselves to grow and evolve, we can avoid becoming complacent and ensure that we're always moving forward. One effective strategy for maintaining a growth mindset is to regularly reassess our goals and priorities. As we achieve success in one area, it's important to set new targets that challenge us to expand our skills and knowledge. By continually raising the bar for ourselves, we create a sense of momentum and progress that keeps us motivated and engaged. This process of setting and achieving new goals helps us avoid the pitfalls of stagnation and complacency. Another key aspect of avoiding the success trap is to cultivate a sense of humility and openness to feedback. When we become too attached to our own ideas and methods, we risk becoming closed off to new perspectives and insights. By actively seeking out feedback from others and being willing to consider alternative viewpoints, we can broaden our understanding and find new ways to approach challenges. This requires a degree of vulnerability and a willingness to admit when we don't have all the answers. In addition to personal growth, avoiding the success trap also requires a commitment to continuous improvement at an organizational level. Companies that become complacent and resistant to change risk being overtaken by more agile and innovative competitors. Leaders must foster a culture that encourages experimentation, risk-taking, and learning from failure. By creating an environment that values growth and adaptation, organizations can stay ahead of the curve and remain relevant in an ever-changing landscape. Lastly, it's important to recognize that success is not a destination, but rather a journey. The moment we believe we've arrived is the moment we begin to stagnate. True growth and fulfillment come from the ongoing process of striving, learning, and evolving. By embracing a mindset of continuous improvement and remaining open to new possibilities, we can avoid the paradox of success and continue to thrive in the face of ever-changing challenges. The path to lasting success is paved with a willingness to outgrow ourselves, to shed outdated mindsets, and embrace new ways of thinking and being. By recognizing the potential pitfalls of success and actively working to avoid them, we can ensure that our triumphs serve as springboards for further growth and achievement. In doing so, we not only set ourselves up for long-term success, but also contribute to a world that values innovation, adaptability, and the pursuit of excellence. Chapter 2. Reframing failure. Leveraging setbacks for personal evolution. Failure is an inevitable part of life, yet it is often viewed as something to be avoided at all costs. We are conditioned to fear failure, to see it as a mark of inadequacy or a lack of ability. However, this perception of failure can be incredibly limiting, preventing us from taking risks, trying new things, and ultimately growing as individuals. To truly outgrow ourselves and adapt to the challenges of tomorrow, we must learn to reframe failure as an opportunity for learning and personal evolution. When we experience a setback or disappointment, it is natural to feel discouraged and even tempted to give up. However, it is precisely in these moments that we have the greatest potential for growth. Every failure carries with it valuable lessons and insights that can help us improve and become better versions of ourselves. The key is to approach these experiences with a growth mindset, viewing them not as definitive judgments of our worth, but as stepping stones on the path to success. One of the most powerful ways to reframe failure is to focus on the learning opportunities it presents. Rather than dwelling on what went wrong or beating ourselves up for our mistakes, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this setback to improve and do better next time? By shifting our focus from the negative to the positive, we open ourselves up to new insights and possibilities. Another important aspect of leveraging failure for personal growth is to cultivate a sense of resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to pick ourselves up after a fall, and keep moving forward. It is a crucial skill in today's rapidly changing world, where setbacks and challenges are a constant reality. By developing resilience, we become better equipped to handle the ups and downs of life and to persevere in the face of obstacles. To build resilience, it is essential to practice self-compassion and to avoid engaging in negative self-talk. When we experience a failure or setback, it is easy to fall into the trap of blaming ourselves or questioning our abilities. However, this kind of thinking only serves to undermine our confidence and motivation. Instead, we must learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, acknowledging that failure is a natural part of the learning process. In addition to cultivating resilience, it is also important to reframe failure as a necessary part of taking risks and trying new things. Many of the greatest achievements in history were born out of repeated failures and setbacks. Thomas Edison, for example, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." By embracing failure as a necessary part of the creative process, we free ourselves to take bold risks and pursue ambitious goals. Of course, reframing failure is not always easy, particularly when the stakes are high or the disappointment is acute. In these moments, it can be helpful to seek support from others who can offer encouragement and perspective. Surrounding ourselves with positive, growth-oriented individuals can help us maintain a healthy mindset and stay focused on our long-term goals. Ultimately, the ability to reframe failure is a critical skill for anyone seeking to outgrow themselves and thrive in an ever-changing world. By viewing setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth, cultivating resilience, and embracing the necessary role of failure in taking risks and trying new things, we can transform our relationship with failure and unlock our full potential for personal evolution. As we navigate the challenges and uncertainties of life, let us remember that failure is not the end, but rather a new beginning. Every setback carries with it the seeds of future success, if only we have the courage and wisdom to nurture them. By reframing failure and leveraging it for personal growth, we open ourselves up to a world of endless possibility and transformation. Chapter 3: Cognitive Flexibility. Developing adaptable thinking patterns. In a rapidly changing world, the ability to think flexibly and adapt to new situations is more important than ever. Cognitive flexibility, the capacity to switch between different thought patterns and perspectives, is a critical skill for navigating the complexities of modern life. When we become too rigid in our thinking, we limit our ability to find creative solutions to problems and respond effectively to new challenges. By developing cognitive flexibility, we can break free from limiting thought patterns and embrace a more adaptable, resilient mindset. The first step in developing cognitive flexibility is to become aware of our own thought patterns and biases. We all have a tendency to fall into habitual ways of thinking, whether it's always looking for the worst-case scenario or stubbornly clinging to our own opinions. These patterns of thought can become so ingrained that we don't even realize we're engaging in them. By bringing awareness to our thought processes, we can begin to identify areas where we may be stuck in rigid or limiting ways of thinking. One powerful tool for breaking free from rigid thought patterns is to actively seek out new perspectives and viewpoints. When we expose ourselves to diverse ideas and opinions, we challenge our own assumptions and broaden our understanding of the world. This can be as simple as reading a book or article that presents a different perspective than our own, or engaging in conversations with people from different backgrounds and experiences. By stepping outside our comfort zone and considering alternative viewpoints, we develop the mental flexibility to approach problems from multiple angles. Another key aspect of cognitive flexibility is the ability to reframe challenges and setbacks in a more positive light. When faced with a difficult situation, it's easy to get stuck in negative thought patterns that only serve to amplify our stress and frustration. However, by consciously reframing the situation, we can shift our mindset and open up new possibilities for problem solving. For example, instead of viewing a setback as a failure, we can choose to see it as an opportunity for learning and growth. By adopting a more optimistic and proactive perspective, we develop the resilience to bounce back from challenges and keep moving forward. Cultivating a growth mindset is another essential component of cognitive flexibility. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning, rather than being fixed traits. When we adopt a growth mindset, we become more open to taking on new challenges and embracing the discomfort of learning and growth. We see mistakes and setbacks not as indicators of our own inadequacy, but as valuable opportunities for improvement. By fostering a love of learning and a willingness to embrace challenges, we develop the cognitive flexibility to adapt to new situations and continually expand our skills and knowledge. In addition to these strategies, there are a number of practical exercises and techniques that can help develop cognitive flexibility. One simple exercise is to regularly engage in activities that challenge us to think in new and different ways. This could be something as simple as trying a new hobby or learning a new skill, or as complex as taking on a project that requires us to think creatively and solve problems in innovative ways. By consistently pushing ourselves outside our mental comfort zone, we strengthen our ability to think flexibly and adapt to new challenges. Another effective technique for developing cognitive flexibility is to practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our attention to the present moment, without judgment or distraction. By regularly engaging in mindfulness exercises, we develop the ability to observe our own thoughts and emotions with greater clarity and objectivity. This increased self-awareness can help us identify limiting thought patterns and biases, and develop the mental space to consider alternative perspectives and solutions. Ultimately, developing cognitive flexibility is an ongoing process that requires consistent effort and practice. It's not about achieving a state of perfect mental agility, but rather about cultivating a more open, curious, and adaptable mindset. By bringing awareness to our thought patterns, actively seeking out new perspectives, reframing challenges, adopting a growth mindset, and engaging in regular exercises and techniques, we can develop the cognitive flexibility to thrive in an ever-changing world. In a world that is constantly evolving, the ability to think flexibly and adapt to new situations is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. By developing cognitive flexibility, we not only become better equipped to navigate the challenges of modern life, but we also open ourselves up to a world of new possibilities and opportunities. With a more adaptable, resilient mindset, we can approach the future with confidence, creativity, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Chapter 4. The power of unlearning, shedding limiting beliefs and behaviors. As we go through life, we accumulate a vast array of beliefs, assumptions, and behaviors that shape our perception of the world and ourselves. While many of these beliefs serve us well, others can become limiting, holding us back from reaching our full potential. These limiting beliefs and behaviors often operate below the level of conscious awareness, quietly sabotaging our efforts to grow and evolve. To truly outgrow ourselves and embrace new ways of thinking and being, we must first learn to identify and shed these limiting patterns. The process of unlearning begins with self-reflection and introspection. We must be willing to take an honest look at ourselves and the ways in which our beliefs and behaviors may be holding us back. This requires a degree of courage and vulnerability, as it can be uncomfortable to confront the parts of ourselves that we may have been avoiding or denying. However, by shining a light on these limiting patterns, we create the opportunity for growth and transformation. One powerful tool for identifying limiting beliefs is to pay attention to our self-talk and inner dialogue. The words we use to describe ourselves and our experiences can reveal a great deal about our underlying beliefs and assumptions. For example, if we consistently tell ourselves that we're not good enough or that we'll never succeed, we're reinforcing a belief in our own limitations. By becoming aware of these negative thought patterns, we can begin to challenge and reframe them in a more positive and empowering way. Another key aspect of unlearning is to question the validity and usefulness of our long-held assumptions and beliefs. Just because we've believed something for a long time doesn't necessarily mean it's true or serving us well. By cultivating a sense of curiosity and openness, we can begin to explore alternative perspectives and ways of thinking. This may involve seeking out new information, exposing ourselves to different viewpoints, or simply allowing ourselves to consider the possibility that we may have been wrong or misguided in the past. As we begin to identify and challenge our limiting beliefs, it's important to replace them with more empowering and expansive alternatives. This isn't about simply adopting a false sense of positivity or denying the reality of our challenges and limitations. Rather, it's about intentionally choosing beliefs that support our growth and well-being, even in the face of difficulty or uncertainty. For example, instead of believing that we're not capable of achieving our goals, we can choose to believe that we have the potential to learn, grow, and overcome obstacles with effort and perseverance. In addition to shedding limiting beliefs, unlearning also involves letting go of behaviors and habits that no longer serve us. This may include patterns of procrastination, self-sabotage, or avoidance that keep us stuck in a cycle of stagnation and frustration. By becoming more aware of these behaviors and the triggers that lead to them, we can begin to develop new, more productive habits and strategies for moving forward. The process of replacing old behaviors with new ones can be challenging, as it requires consistent effort and practice over time. However, by breaking down the process into small, manageable steps and celebrating our progress along the way, we can gradually build momentum and create lasting change. This may involve setting specific goals, creating accountability systems, or seeking out support and guidance from others who have successfully navigated similar transitions. Ultimately, the power of unlearning lies in its ability to free us from the limitations of our past and open up new possibilities for the future. By shedding the beliefs and behaviors that no longer serve us, we create space for growth, creativity, and innovation. We become more adaptable, resilient, and better equipped to navigate the challenges and opportunities of a rapidly changing world. Of course, unlearning is not a one-time event, but rather an ongoing process of self-discovery and self-improvement. As we continue to grow and evolve, we may encounter new limiting beliefs and behaviors that require our attention and effort to overcome. By remaining committed to the process of unlearning and embracing a mindset of continuous growth, we can ensure that we're always moving forward, even in the face of setbacks and challenges. The path of unlearning is not always easy, but it is a necessary and rewarding one for anyone seeking to outgrow themselves and reach their full potential. By cultivating the courage to confront our limitations, the curiosity to explore new perspectives, and the commitment to replace old patterns with more empowering alternatives, we can transform our relationship with ourselves and the world around us. In doing so, we not only create a more fulfilling and purposeful life for ourselves, but we also inspire others to do the same, contributing to a ripple effect of positive change and growth. Chapter 5. Embracing Discomfort. Stepping outside your comfort zone for growth. The human brain is wired to seek comfort and familiarity. We naturally gravitate towards situations and experiences that feel safe, predictable, and within our control. While this instinct for self-preservation has served us well from an evolutionary standpoint, it can also become a hindrance to personal growth and development. When we become too attached to our comfort zones, we limit our ability to learn, adapt, and thrive in the face of new challenges and opportunities. To truly outgrow ourselves and reach our full potential, we must learn to embrace discomfort and step outside our comfort zones. Discomfort is often a sign that we're pushing up against the edges of our current abilities and knowledge. It's a signal that we're entering uncharted territory, where the familiar scripts and strategies we've relied on in the past may no longer apply. This can be a frightening and unsettling experience, as it requires us to confront our own limitations and uncertainties. However, it's precisely in these moments of discomfort that we have the greatest potential for growth and transformation. When we step outside our comfort zone, we create opportunities for learning and skill development that wouldn't be possible otherwise. We expose ourselves to new ideas, perspectives, and ways of thinking that can broaden our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We also challenge ourselves to develop new capabilities and strengths, whether it's learning a new language, taking on a challenging project at work, or pursuing a long-held dream or passion. Of course, embracing discomfort doesn't mean recklessly throwing ourselves into dangerous or harmful situations. It's important to distinguish between healthy discomfort that leads to growth and unhealthy stress or anxiety that can be damaging to our well-being. The key is to approach discomfort with intention and purpose, setting realistic goals and boundaries for ourselves, while also pushing beyond our perceived limitations. One effective strategy for embracing discomfort is to start small and gradually build up our tolerance over time. This might involve taking on a new responsibility at work, initiating a conversation with someone we don't know well, or trying a new hobby or activity that pushes us outside our usual routine. By consistently challenging ourselves with small acts of courage and self-expansion, we build the confidence and resilience necessary to tackle bigger and more intimidating challenges down the road. Another important aspect of embracing discomfort is learning to reframe our relationship with failure and setbacks. When we're pushed outside our comfort zone, the risk of failure and disappointment increases. However, instead of seeing failure as a reflection of our own inadequacy or lack of ability, we can choose to view it as a valuable opportunity for learning and growth. By embracing a growth mindset and seeing challenges as opportunities to learn and improve, we develop the mental toughness and adaptability necessary to thrive in the face of discomfort. It's also important to cultivate a support system of people who can encourage and challenge us to step outside our comfort zone. Surrounding ourselves with others who are committed to personal growth and development can provide the motivation and accountability we need to push past our own limitations. This might involve joining a mastermind group, working with a coach or mentor, or simply seeking out friendships and relationships with people who inspire and challenge us to be our best selves. As we become more comfortable with discomfort, we may find that our definition of what feels comfortable begins to shift and expand. Things that once felt intimidating or overwhelming may start to feel more manageable and even exciting. We may discover new passions, talents, and opportunities that we never would have considered before. By continually pushing ourselves to embrace discomfort and step outside our comfort zones, we open ourselves up to a world of endless possibility and potential. Of course, embracing discomfort is not always easy or comfortable. There will be times when we feel scared, overwhelmed, or uncertain. There may be setbacks and failures along the way. However, by staying committed to the process of growth and self-expansion, we develop the resilience and adaptability necessary to navigate even the most challenging of circumstances. The rewards of embracing discomfort are immeasurable. By stepping outside our comfort zones, we not only expand our own capabilities and potential, but we also inspire others to do the same. We become role models and leaders, demonstrating what's possible when we have the courage to push past our own limitations and fears. We create ripple effects of positive change and growth that extend far beyond ourselves, contributing to a world that is more innovative, compassionate, and resilient. Stepping outside our comfort zone is not a one-time event, but rather a lifelong practice of self-discovery and self-expansion. By continually embracing discomfort and challenging ourselves to grow, we ensure that we're always evolving and adapting to the ever-changing world around us. We become more confident, capable, and resilient, better equipped to handle whatever challenges and opportunities come our way. So let us embrace the discomfort, knowing that on the other side lies a world of endless possibility and potential, waiting to be discovered. Chapter 6. Cultivating a growth mindset. Adopting a lifelong learning approach. The ability to learn and adapt is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. Those who are able to embrace a growth mindset and approach life with a commitment to continuous learning are better equipped to navigate the challenges and opportunities of the future. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed and expanded through effort, learning, and perseverance. It is a way of thinking that emphasizes the power of yet, the idea that we are always capable of improving and growing, no matter where we start. Adopting a growth mindset requires a fundamental shift in the way we think about ourselves and our potential. Instead of seeing our abilities as fixed and immutable, we must learn to view them as malleable and subject to change. This means embracing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than as threats to our ego or self-worth. It means being willing to take risks, to try new things, and to push ourselves outside our comfort zones, even when it feels uncomfortable or difficult. Cultivating a growth mindset also means reframing the way we think about failure and mistakes. In a fixed mindset, failure is seen as a reflection of our own inadequacy or lack of ability. We may avoid challenges or give up easily in the face of setbacks, believing that we simply don't have what it takes to succeed. In contrast, a growth mindset sees failure as a natural and necessary part of the learning process. It recognizes that mistakes and setbacks are not indictments of our worth or potential, but rather opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. Developing a love for learning is another key aspect of cultivating a growth mindset. When we approach learning with curiosity, enthusiasm, and a sense of purpose, we are more likely to engage deeply with the material and retain what we have learned. This means seeking out new knowledge and experiences, not just for the sake of achieving a specific goal or outcome, but for the intrinsic joy and satisfaction of learning itself. It means being open to new ideas and perspectives, even when they challenge our existing beliefs or assumptions. Incorporating continuous learning into our daily lives can take many forms. It may involve reading books and articles on topics that interest us, attending workshops or conferences to expand our skills and knowledge, or seeking out mentors and coaches who can guide and support us in our growth. It may also involve taking on new challenges and projects that push us outside our comfort zones and force us to learn and adapt on the fly. Another important aspect of cultivating a growth mindset is surrounding ourselves with others who share our commitment to lifelong learning and personal growth. When we are part of a community of learners, we are more likely to stay motivated and engaged, even when the going gets tough. We can learn from the experiences and insights of others, and provide support and encouragement to one another as we navigate the ups and downs of the learning process. Of course, adopting a growth mindset is not always easy. It requires a willingness to confront our own limitations and biases, to take responsibility for our own learning and growth, and to persevere in the face of challenges and setbacks. It may also require us to let go of certain beliefs or assumptions that have held us back in the past, and to embrace new ways of thinking and being that feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable at first. However, the rewards of cultivating a growth mindset are immeasurable. When we approach life with a commitment to continuous learning and personal growth, we open ourselves up to a world of endless possibility and potential. We become more resilient, adaptable, and creative, better equipped to handle the challenges and opportunities that come our way. We also inspire others to embrace a growth mindset, creating ripple effects of positive change and transformation that extend far beyond ourselves. Adopting a growth mindset and a lifelong learning approach is not a one-time event, but rather a daily practice and a way of being in the world. It requires consistent effort, reflection, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones and embrace discomfort for the sake of growth and development. By cultivating a love for learning, reframing failure and mistakes as opportunities for growth, surrounding ourselves with a community of learners, and consistently pushing ourselves to expand our knowledge and skills, we can ensure that we are always evolving and adapting to the ever-changing world around us. The path of lifelong learning and personal growth is not always easy, but it is always worth it. By embracing a growth mindset and committing ourselves to continuous learning and self-improvement, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to a world that is more innovative, compassionate, and resilient. So let us approach each day with a sense of curiosity, openness, and a willingness to learn and grow, knowing that the journey of self-discovery and self-expansion is one that never truly ends. Chapter 7. The Future You. Envisioning and actualizing your ideal self. Imagine for a moment that you could fast forward to the end of your life and look back on all that you have accomplished and become. What would you see? Who would you be? What kind of impact would you have made on the world around you? These are the questions that lie at the heart of envisioning and actualizing your ideal self. It is a process of looking beyond your current circumstances and limitations, and instead focusing on the vast potential that lies within you. Creating a clear vision for your future self is a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation. When you have a vivid and compelling picture of who you want to be and what you want to achieve, you are more likely to take the actions and make the choices that will move you closer to that vision. You become more intentional and purposeful in your daily life, and less likely to be swayed by the distractions and obstacles that inevitably arise along the way. The process of envisioning your ideal self begins with deep introspection and self-reflection. You must take the time to get clear on your values, passions, and priorities. What matters most to you in life? What brings you joy and fulfillment? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world around you? These are the questions that will guide you in creating a vision that is authentic and aligned with your true self. Once you have a clear sense of your values and priorities, you can begin to craft a detailed and specific vision of your ideal self. This may involve visualizing yourself in various roles and contexts, such as your career, relationships, health, and personal growth. You may imagine yourself achieving specific goals or milestones, or embodying certain qualities and characteristics that you admire and aspire to. It is important to make your vision as vivid and concrete as possible. The more detail and specificity you can bring to your vision, the more powerful and motivating it will be. You may even want to create a visual representation of your ideal self, such as a vision board or a written description, to help keep your vision front and center in your mind. Of course, envisioning your ideal self is only the first step in the process of actualizing it. To truly bring your vision to life, you must take consistent and intentional action towards your goals. This involves breaking down your larger vision into smaller, more manageable steps and milestones, and creating a plan for achieving them over time. One effective framework for setting and achieving personal growth goals is the SMART criteria. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. By ensuring that your goals meet these criteria, you can increase your chances of success and stay motivated and focused along the way. For example, Instead of setting a vague goal like, I want to be healthier, you might set a smart goal like, I will exercise for 30 minutes, 3 times per week, for the next 3 months. This goal is specific exercise for 30 minutes, measurable 3 times per week, achievable based on your current fitness level and schedule, relevant aligned with your larger vision of health and well-being, and time-bound for the next 3 months. As you work towards your goals and vision, it is important to stay flexible and adaptable along the way. Your ideal self is not a fixed destination, but rather a constantly evolving and unfolding process. You may encounter obstacles or setbacks that require you to adjust your plan or timeline, or you may discover new insights or opportunities that shift your vision in unexpected ways. The key is to stay committed to the larger process of personal growth and self-discovery, even in the face of challenges or uncertainty. This requires a willingness to embrace discomfort and take risks, to learn from your mistakes and failures, and to continually reassess and refine your vision and goals over time. Another important aspect of actualizing your ideal self is surrounding yourself with supportive and inspiring people who share your values and vision. When you are part of a community of like-minded individuals who are also committed to personal growth and positive change, you are more likely to stay motivated and accountable, even when the going gets tough. This may involve seeking out mentors or coaches who can provide guidance and support along the way, joining mastermind groups or accountability partnerships with others who are working towards similar goals, or simply cultivating relationships with friends and family members who believe in your potential and inspire you to be your best self. The process of envisioning and actualizing your ideal self is a lifelong journey of self-discovery and self-actualization. It requires a willingness to dream big, to take bold and intentional action towards your goals, and to embrace the inevitable challenges and setbacks that arise along the way. But the rewards of this journey are immeasurable. When you are living in alignment with your true self and working towards a vision that inspires and energizes you, you experience a deeper sense of purpose, fulfillment, and joy in your daily life. You become a force for positive change in the world around you, inspiring others to discover and actualize their own unique potential. So take the time to envision your ideal self, and then take the bold and courageous steps necessary to bring that vision to life. Trust in the power of your own potential, and know that with consistent effort and perseverance, anything is possible. The future you is waiting to be discovered and actualized, and the journey begins with a single step. Chapter 8. Thriving in Uncertainty. Navigating Change with Resilience and Adaptability. The ability to navigate uncertainty and adapt to new circumstances has become an essential skill for personal and professional success. Whether it's a sudden shift in the economy, an unexpected job loss, or a global pandemic that upends our daily lives, change is an inevitable and constant presence in our world. Those who are able to embrace uncertainty and develop resilience in the face of change are better equipped to not only survive, but thrive in the midst of chaos and upheaval. Thriving in uncertainty requires a fundamental shift in mindset and perspective. Rather than resisting or fearing change, we must learn to view it as an opportunity for growth, learning, and transformation. This means letting go of our attachment to certainty and control, and instead cultivating a sense of openness, curiosity, and flexibility in the face of the unknown. One of the key skills for navigating change with resilience is the ability to adapt quickly and effectively to new situations. This involves being willing to let go of old ways of thinking and doing things, and instead embracing new approaches and strategies that are better suited to the current reality. It means being open to learning new skills, taking on new roles and responsibilities, and experimenting with different ways of working and living. Developing a growth mindset is another critical component of thriving in uncertainty. When we view challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and development, rather than as threats to our sense of self or status, we are more likely to approach change with a sense of curiosity and possibility. We become more resilient in the face of obstacles and failures, and more willing to take risks and try new things. Building strong relationships and support networks is also essential for navigating change with resilience. When we have a community of people who we can turn to for guidance, encouragement, and support, we are better able to weather the storms of uncertainty and change. This may involve cultivating deeper connections with family and friends, seeking out mentors or coaches who can provide guidance and perspective, or joining groups or organizations that share our values and interests. Another key aspect of thriving in uncertainty is developing a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. When we have a clear sense of what matters most to us and what we want to contribute to the world, we are more likely to find resilience and motivation in the face of change and adversity. This may involve clarifying our values and priorities, setting meaningful goals and intentions, or engaging in activities and pursuits that bring us a sense of fulfillment and joy. Practicing mindfulness and self-care is also critical for navigating change with resilience. When we are able to stay present and grounded in the midst of uncertainty and chaos, we are better able to respond with clarity, compassion, and wisdom. This may involve developing a regular meditation or yoga practice, taking time for rest and relaxation, or engaging in activities that nourish our mind, body, and spirit. Of course, thriving in uncertainty is not always easy or comfortable. There will be times when we feel overwhelmed, anxious, or discouraged by the constant barrage of change and upheaval in our lives. In these moments, it's important to remember that resilience is not about being perfect or never struggling, but rather about developing the skills and mindset to bounce back from adversity and keep moving forward. This may involve practicing self-compassion and kindness when we stumble or fall short, seeking out support and guidance when we need it, and giving ourselves permission to take breaks and recharge when necessary. It may also involve reframing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning, and trusting in our own inherent resilience and adaptability. Thriving in uncertainty is about embracing the inherent messiness and complexity of life, and finding ways to navigate change with grace, courage, and compassion. It's about cultivating a sense of openness, curiosity, and flexibility in the face of the unknown, and developing the skills and mindset to adapt and evolve as circumstances change. And while the path of navigating change with resilience is not always easy or straightforward, the rewards are immeasurable. When we are able to thrive in the midst of uncertainty and upheaval, we develop a deeper sense of trust in ourselves and in the world around us. We become more creative, innovative, and resourceful in the face of challenges and obstacles. And we inspire others to embrace change and uncertainty with resilience and adaptability, creating ripple effects of positive transformation in our communities and beyond. So as we navigate the constant change and uncertainty of our world, let us remember that we have the inherent capacity to thrive and flourish, even in the midst of chaos and upheaval. By cultivating resilience, adaptability, and a growth mindset, and by building strong relationships and support networks, we can not only survive, but thrive in the face of whatever challenges and opportunities come our way. The journey of navigating change with resilience is a lifelong one, but it is a journey that is well worth taking for ourselves and for the world we seek to create.